Hey all, it is Mickey with Free Roaming Photography, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite recent images that I've gotten from the winter and the spring. And real quick before we get going, if you want to support me, I've got links down in the description on how to do that, but you can check that out if you want to, but we'll just move right in. So, first one right away. This one is from Zion National Park. For my birthday this winter in January, I went down to Zion and did some hiking, and this was actually doing a hike I had never done called the Sand Bench Trail, which actually turned out really beautiful. And this photo is from that hike, and you get to a couple of overlooks as you get to the south end of it. It's a loop, and this photo was taken as the sun was starting to get low. It wasn't quite sunset, but it was getting close to it. And what really makes this for me are the silhouetted trees. And I would prefer those silhouetted trees were actually full, like on that farther ridge, but then they would be small. But I don't like that they're cut off a little bit, but I'm kind of nitpicking here because they do provide a really nice balance to the overall image. So I really like that they're there. I really like that they pull your eye down to the right from that big mountain that's lit up with that beautiful golden light. So that turned into a really beautiful photo. I'm really happy with that one. That might be my favorite favorite photo from the trip to Zion. There were a couple others that I really liked, but this one especially I felt was the strongest in terms of photographic qualities. Next up is this northern shrike, and northern shrikes migrate down here from the Arctic in the winter because it's not as bad as the Arctic. So they find a little bit more food and they come down here, and this probably is one of the best shots I've gotten of a northern shrike, and I was really happy to see it flying. You can see there was some nice light on it too. There was some sort of atmospheric light coming in that kind of got it on that right side. You can see at the front of its wings that light just kind of glowing a little bit, adding a nice little touch. Also the minimalism. I mean, it just stands there by itself. I should say it flies there by itself in the middle of this empty void. And I know I say don't shoot birds against the sky, but in this case, I mean, it's hard to pass up a northern shrike that's flying. So I really liked it. And like I've always said, there are exceptions. I feel like this is an exception because it is framed well. It is composed well because it is flying into the more of the photo than not. And what that does is that kind of tells a little bit of a story of the northern shrike looking for some prey and potentially finding it, which I didn't see in this instance, but you don't need to know that because that could be what's going on in the story, right? So yeah, I was really happy to get that, really happy to get a northern shrike in flight, which I've wanted to get for several years now, so that was really exciting. Next up, and I just want to say some of these are probably going to look familiar to a few of you. I made a video recently that shows going through and editing a lot of photos, and I did use a few of these because I just like them so much. So this is one of those along with Shrike. But this one was just a northern harrier just chilling in the middle of a snow-covered field, and it had just snowed that morning, so the snow was fresh. The northern harrier was trying to find its bearings, and also looking for food, but typically they do not sit so close to the road, just chilling on sagebrush. So that was a really awesome photo. I love the way it came out with the minimalistic aspect, how it's the main thing popping off, but right there on that same plane of focus, you have just a little bit of sagebrush popping up, just to kind of give something else in the photo, kind of give it a little bit more depth, a little bit more context and stuff like that. So love this photo. I was really happy with this one, and I can only hope to get another photo like that soon, especially in the winter. By the way, if you hear some chirping, there is a Bullock's oriole on my hummingbird feeder getting at the nectar in my hummingbird feeder. I didn't know Bullock's orioles were going to attack hummingbird feeders. I didn't know they did that, but apparently they do because this one's going crazy over it, and he's been doing that all day. Total side tangent. This is not a Bullock's oriole or a hummingbird. This is a western meadowlark. and they are usually very camera shy. So I got very lucky that this one was just willing to sit and pose while I got it again on another morning where it had snowed, which was great because we didn't get a lot of mornings that snowed in Jackson Hole this winter, which is highly unusual. The Western Meadowlarks are absolutely gorgeous. I love their contrast between the yellow and the black, that really sharp beak, and they just look so beautiful in the prairies and the sagebrush flats and things like that. This one again was on sagebrush flats, and I love the color. I love that the sagebrush just kind of complements that yellow just a little bit. Not that it's a complementary color, it is a tertiary color, but still it looks beautiful. Kind of just accenting just below the Western Meadowlark a little bit. I love the framing of how it is looking across the photo. There's plenty of room, there's plenty of just things it could be looking for, and it tells a little story. So really happy with that one. That was a nice find, and I can only hope I get that lucky with a Western Meadowlark again someday soon. So Canada geese, obviously everybody knows them. They're everywhere. I take them for granted. I don't like doing that to any bird or animal, but Canada geese, they're pretty easy to take for granted just because they're everywhere. But I was looking at birds on a little boardwalk in Jackson, and as I was looking through binoculars, I hear some massive wings flapping, and I look over to my left, and this Canada goose had landed on the railing of the boardwalk right next to me, like literally 3 feet away. To get this shot, I had to back up like 15 or 20 feet just to get its head. And that being said, I don't usually get that close to them because I respect their boundaries, but this one decided not to respect mine, which I'm okay with because I got a really awesome detailed shot of its head, which I tend to not think about doing. And this was the perfect instance to do it, and it came out really great. I mean, there's a lot of really beautiful details that I don't tend to notice or look that closely at, but I really love that, I got to have this opportunity with this goose. And there's so many just little details, like all the little specks of white that are in front of the white band, and the big bright eye, just kind of taking in the landscape. Like, this was a really beautiful close-up headshot that I don't normally think to take or don't normally even get. So I was really happy with that. I was really happy this little goose, this big goose just decided to land right next to me on a boardwalk and give me that opportunity. So it came out a beautiful shot, I thought, and I was really happy that I had that. Next is this American avocet, and I love these birds. They are beautiful. They are really bizarre and unique looking, but also very elegant and beautiful looking. They have that really unique upturned bill that allows them to catch different kinds of things in the water. But in this case in particular, this American avocet just kind of appeared like it was just showing off and strutting on that little peninsula. And I love the way it looked. I love the orange contrasting with the green behind it, the orange of its head contrasting with all the green vegetation, especially in the reflection right behind it. I was able to get down low and get a unique perspective, so that put a lot of more depth behind it, and easily one of the best, probably the best shot of an American avocet that I have. So I was super excited about that, and just the way it's walking through the water, the pose, it was like a perfect spring bird photo, and I was really excited about it and really happy with it. And I don't really know what else to say about it. It just came out beautiful, and I'm very appreciative for that avocet for that. And then finally, this is a brewer's blackbird. This is another one that gets overlooked a lot. They are typically in large flocks, especially on a lot of flats. You might notice a few other birds mixed in with them, but in this case, I mean, the brewer's blackbirds are really beautiful. They're very common, they're very overlooked, but they have a really fantastic iridescence on their wings, which you can see came out on this. It's a nice, really deep blue, kind of a bluish, blackish iridescence, and it came out looking really beautiful, and that contrasts really nicely with the bright yellow eye that they have, especially as you get up closer to the head. In this photo especially, it gets a lot darker. So there's really a lot going on, and it was just on a bank. I didn't have to get down low because it was kind of walking along a bank, which put more depth behind it to begin with. Once you get behind those grasses, but that it adds some nice layering because you got the grasses in front, you got the grasses that are on the same focal plane as it, as well as ones in the background, and then the blurred background. So it's a nice amount of depth here, and a really, I thought, a beautiful photo of a brewer's blackbird. And if you overlook these birds, give them another look, because they are really really beautiful if you can actually catch them in the right light. That iridescence will shine and really pop them out and make you want to watch them a little bit more. So they are really pretty birds, and if you catch them in the right opportunity, they can make fantastic subjects to photograph. So those are some of my favorite recent images. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any questions or comments about them, leave them down below. I'm happy to answer. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. And if you want to support me, I do have links down in the description that you can look up. And I really appreciate it. Y'all are all amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time.